Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring one of the most fascinating and lesser discussed rivalries in modern defense technology, Israel versus Qatar in the field of missile systems. As we move closer to 2026, both nations are investing heavily in air defense, missile interception, and precision strike technologies. The goal of this video is to break down how these two very different nations are preparing for the future of warfare and what makes their strategies so distinct. Israel is widely known as one of the most technologically advanced defense powers in the world. Despite its small size, the country has built a reputation for being one of the leading innovators in missile technology. From the Iron Dome to the Arrow series and the new Iron Beam laser system, Israel's defense architecture is layered, combat-tested, and continuously evolving. On the other hand, Qatar, while much smaller in population and less experienced in indigenous defense development, has rapidly risen as a key buyer of advanced Western missile defense systems. Its partnerships with the United States and European defense manufacturers have made it one of the most well-equipped nations in the Gulf region. At first glance, this may seem like a one-sided comparison. Israel, with decades of warfare experience and an active defense industry, versus Qatar, which is still building its defense capability through imports. But when we look deeper, it becomes clear that Qatar's strategy is about leveraging financial power and international partnerships to quickly climb the technological ladder. This creates an interesting contrast between an indigenous innovation model and a high-end acquisition model. Israel's missile defense evolution began out of necessity. Since the country's founding, it has been surrounded by hostile neighbors and constant threats from rockets, missiles, and drones. The Iron Dome became a global symbol of defensive excellence by intercepting short-range rockets with stunning accuracy. It uses advanced radar and interceptors to calculate incoming trajectories, deciding which projectiles pose a threat and neutralizing them mid-air. The system's efficiency in real combat has made it one of the most exported and studied technologies in defense history. Moving upward in range, Israel's Sling covers media-range threats, such as large rockets and tactical ballistic missiles. Beyond that, the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 systems provide defense against long-range ballistic missiles and even exoatmospheric threats. The Arrow 3, co-developed with the United States, is capable of intercepting missiles outside Earth's atmosphere, a technology few nations possess. Together, these layers create a comprehensive shield against nearly any form of missile attack. Qatar's defense philosophy is different. Instead of developing its own systems, it focuses on assembling the most advanced imported technologies available. The country has purchased the US-made Patriot missile system, the NASAMS medium-range air defense system, and more recently, the THAAD system. Each of these platforms provides Qatar with layers of protection against short, medium, and long-range missile threats. The Patriot system is proven and reliable, while THAAD provides high-altitude interception against ballistic missiles. Qatar's approach is to buy the best, integrate it, and train its forces to operate these systems effectively. However, there's a major distinction here. Israel's defense systems have been built and refined through real combat scenarios. Every upgrade, software patch, and tactical change is driven by actual battlefield data. In contrast, Qatar's systems, while cutting-edge, have yet to be tested in prolonged or large-scale conflict situations. This doesn't mean Qatar's defenses are weak. It simply means they're untested in the same way Israel's are. Looking toward 2026, both countries are evolving rapidly. Israel is working on directed energy weapons like the Iron Beam, a laser launch-based system designed to destroy drones, rockets, and mortar shells using concentrated beams of light. This will dramatically reduce interception costs and allow continuous defense without the need for expensive interceptor missiles. For a nation like Israel, surrounded by constant threats, this could revolutionize the economics of missile defense. Meanwhile, Qatar is focusing on building interoperability. Its goal is to create a fully integrated defense network that links radar systems, command centers, and missile batteries into a single, synchronized structure. This kind of network defense ensures faster response times and greater efficiency. In addition, Qatar's heavy investment in U.S. and European systems allows it to maintain compatibility with NATO standards, strengthening its cooperation with Western allies. Now, let's compare offensive capabilities. Israel possesses a range of advanced strike systems. The LoRa missile, developed by Israel Aerospace Industries, is a precision-guided, long-range artillery rocket capable of striking targets up to 280 kilometers away. Israel also uses the Extra and Predator Hawk missiles, designed for accurate and rapid response attacks. These offensive tools are part of Israel's deterrence doctrine, ensuring that any attack on its territory can be met with a swift and decisive counterstrike. Qatar, on the other hand, does not have an indigenous long-range missile arsenal. Its focus has been purely defensive. However, Qatar's relationships with the U.S. and NATO provide it with access to some of the world's most advanced air platforms, including the F-15QA fighter jets and possibly long-range strike support through allied forces. Over time, Qatar may choose to develop or co-develop precision strike capabilities to balance its defense architecture. One of the key factors driving Israel's success is its defense industry ecosystem. Companies like Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, Israel Aerospace Industries IAI, and Elbit Systems are constantly innovating, creating new technologies that are exported worldwide. These companies not only provide equipment for Israel's own military, but also serve as global suppliers of defense systems, helping other countries modernize their forces. This industrial independence gives Israel a major edge. It can modify, upgrade, and deploy new technology without waiting for foreign approval. Qatar, by contrast, relies heavily on international defense contractors. The advantage is that it can purchase the very best systems available. The drawback is dependency. Any major upgrade or maintenance operation often requires external support or additional financial agreements. For long-term sustainability, Qatar might eventually look to develop a small domestic defense industry to reduce this reliance. Another major difference lies in operational doctrine. Israel's military doctrine is built around rapid response and layered defense. Its systems are integrated into an active command structure that continuously monitors threats and coordinates between air, land, and sea forces. Qatar's doctrine is still evolving, focusing on creating stability and deterrence through strong partnerships and visible military capability. By 2026, Israel's integration of AI and machine learning into missile systems will play a huge role. Automated threat detection, autonomous radar calibration, and predictive interception algorithms are already under development. These will make Israel's missile systems faster and more precise. For Qatar, AI integration will likely come through imported systems like NASAMS and THAAD, as Western manufacturers continue to enhance these platforms. In terms of regional influence, Israel's missile capabilities make it a dominant power in the Middle East. Its systems have proven effective against threats from Gaza, Lebanon, and even long-range ballistic challenges. The credibility of Israel's missile defense is unmatched in the region. Qatar, however, represents a different kind of influence. Its wealth, diplomacy, and defense procurement strategy give it soft power and strategic alliances that increase its security without needing a massive indigenous arsenal. As global defense technology advances, both Israel and Qatar will face the same challenge, adapting to the era of hypersonic missiles and swarm drone attacks. Traditional interception methods may not be enough. This is where Israel's research into laser and electromagnetic systems could give it a futuristic edge. For Qatar, future-proofing its defense means continuing to invest in interoperability, multi-layer coverage, and advanced radar networks. It's also important to understand how geography shapes each country's missile strategy. Israel's small land area means it must intercept threats before they reach populated zones. Qatar, although also small, faces fewer direct missile threats, but focuses on protecting its energy infrastructure and key military bases. For both, defense systems are not just about survival. They are about maintaining deterrence and political stability. International partnerships will also determine their future paths. Israel's defense cooperation with the U.S. continues to expand, especially after the success of joint programs like Arrow 3. Qatar's relationships with the U.S., the UK, and France strengthen its defense posture, ensuring that it remains under the umbrella of Western security frameworks. These alliances are key to how each country plans its long-term defense strategy. As we project forward to 2026, one scenario stands out. Israel's Iron Beam could become the world's first operational laser-based missile defense system, reducing interception costs from tens of thousands of dollars per missile to just a few dollars per shot. This would revolutionize missile defense economics globally. Qatar, though unlikely to develop such technology domestically, could become one of the first foreign buyers once the system is proven and available for export. There's also the question of how cyber warfare will integrate with missile defense. Israel already employs cyber units to detect and counter digital threats that could disrupt radar or communication networks. For Qatar, investing in cybersecurity will be essential to protect its imported systems from electronic warfare or hacking attempts. At the strategic level, Israel's missile ecosystem represents a balance of innovation, readiness, and deterrence. Qatar's missile network represents strategic modernization and alliance building, while Israel's defense strength comes from self-reliance and constant battle readiness. Qatar's comes from strategic investment and diplomatic reach. Both are valid models for national defense in the 21st century. By 2026, we can expect Israel to continue exporting its missile systems to more countries, reinforcing its position as a leader in defense technology. The global market for air and missile defense systems is growing, and Israel's proven technology places it at the center of this market. Qatar's focus, however, will likely remain on strengthening regional partnerships and ensuring that its defense architecture can stand up to any modern threat. In conclusion, the Israel versus Qatar missile comparison highlights two very different but equally important paths in defense strategy. Israel represents innovation, combat experience, and self-reliance. Qatar represents modernization through strategic investment and alliance building. Both nations are shaping the future of defense technology in their own ways, contributing to a broader shift in how nations prepare for next-generation warfare. So, what can the world learn from this comparison? First, technology alone doesn't win wars. It's how you integrate, adapt, and sustain it that matters. Second, alliances and partnerships can substitute for domestic capability. but only if managed strategically. And third, as missile threats evolve, defense systems must evolve faster. In this regard, Israel may lead in innovation, but Qatar's rapid modernization shows how smaller nations can leverage resources to stay secure in a dangerous world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Israel versus Qatar missile comparison 2026, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Stay tuned for more global defense analysis and technological breakdowns from around the world.